Greetings, my friend. Dan Macdonald here from regenerateyourlife.org. And you know me as the Lifegenerator on YouTube. So let's see, we did an 8-day water fast, and that went really well, and I really appreciate your love and your support. Amazing people out there in the YouTube village, and that means you. And this is a day 8 on the refeed, right? And that's where you are back to normal. So if you fast for 8 days, it's going to take you about 8 days to get back to normal. I'm going to go out here and play in the grass until Lou shows up. We're going to make some videos, some recipe videos, philosophy videos. The first one will go up to the Insiders Club. So if you're interested in hanging out with Lou and I for a little while and getting into some philosophy, you may want to sign up for the Insiders Club. Anyways, I'm feeling really good. And we're down here now. We just came to LA, Sophia and I. We came to LA to just hang out with Lou for a few days. It's always nice to be in Lou's energy field, to learn more, and particularly for me to make some great videos to share with you on the YouTube and on the Insiders Club. So today I wanted to make a quick video and just say how much I appreciate being in this body. And Sophia and I were just having a conversation like 10 minutes ago, which is what inspired this video. Her favorite spiritual teacher was talking about how spirits on the other side of things that are not here on earth and do not have a body really, really wish that they did have a body to inhabit. So it's really, basically, that's my way of saying, if you're not into that kind of thing at all or whatever, that's my way of approaching the subject of really appreciating the physical body for what it is. And that means feeding it well or not feeding it well. That's why it's fun to play in this dimension. And just because our society pretty much starts eating from day one and then eats all day, every day throughout its entire life, that doesn't necessarily mean that's the only reality that there is. And so few people have explored water fasting or the relinquishment of food or anedia or moderation in eating or calorie restriction. It's so frowned upon. But because it takes, it's off of the normal momentum of society. It's just a real consumer-oriented society. And you watching this video, unless you're like 120 years old, you've grown up in a society that has told you to consume everything in sight. The more stuff you get, the more you consume, the happier you're going to be, whether that's cigarettes, beer, food, cars, sex, everything. Consume, consume, consume. And then if you evolve beyond that and you kind of connect with nature's way of abundance, you may tap into abundance like an abundance of peace. And for many of us, I'm thankful that I've been through the life that I've been through. I'm thankful for the sensitivity and the pain that I've been through because it kind of guided me back into like a spiritual dimension. When you have pain, I've noticed you look for answers more. If everything's really easy and you've got everything and you think you know it all, that's how like my cousin comes up with an example. Captain of the football team, all the women he ever wanted, buff, football dude, everybody loved him. He always used to call me bird chest, stick figure man, skeleton boy, teasing me all the time and making me feel bad for being skinny. The bird cage chest was the one that was my favorite. He poked me in the chest. But finally what had to happen to him is that he had to be I won't tell you who he is, but he's running cocaine and bar hopping and still getting all the women, still captain of the football team, not still captain of the football team, but still that kind of ego attitude. Well, what has to happen? You got to get busted by the cops and then slip into a coma for a few weeks and have a near-death experience. And I'm the only one he ever talked to about it because he said, Dan, you're the only one that's going to understand this stuff. First of all, sorry for making fun of you for being so skinny. I see now that I'm an idiot, but he had to go into a near-death experience, go into the light, And he went into the light, and the light said to him, and this happens if you read about near-death experience. This isn't weird at all. This happens to everybody. They see the light. Some of it's Jesus. Some of it's just this rainbow thing. Some of it says it's inviting them in, but something pops into their head, and they say, you got to go back. Well, that's what happened to my cousin. He's just like, you have a job to do. You have a purpose. The light looked so inviting, and he wanted to go into it. This is like 3 weeks into a coma, you know. And finally, he saw the light. He was going towards it, meaning he was going to just leave this place, leave the body. But then there was this thing, this entity came up. I don't remember if he said it was Jesus or not, or something like that. But it kind of woke him up to the relationship of Jesus that he never had before. And it said, you need to go back and go finish your purpose. So what did he do? He totally came back. And he moved to Hollywood, actually down here. I should give him a call. And started acting, you know. And that's in some way that's his purpose. I mean, he came back out of a coma, knew he needed to move to LA and become an actor. I mean, weird, crazy stuff. Anyways, I don't even know why I told you that story, but because the people that think, oh, I have a good family, I got plenty of money, my relationships are fine, they don't have those experiences that make them feel like, I remember being skinny and couldn't get the girls and nobody liked me, and I was halfway in between a geek and a popular person. I never fit in. I never had any teachers that told me I could be somebody. I was this little dude who was so lost and in so much pain all my life. Does my mom love me? Does she hate me? Does my dad love me? Does he hate me? And people are like, Dan's just ungrounded. It must be his diet, you know? And it's like, no, man. You don't even know me. We moved every 5 minutes. I didn't know if I was with my mom or with my dad or if they even gave a crap about me or not. So here I am, this little dude who all I was in was survival mode. I don't even think I'm out of it yet in so many areas of my consciousness. I still have a challenging time relaxing into the peace, the love, and the abundance and the safety of God. I don't know if I ever will. Maybe that's not the purpose. But I will tell you that if I didn't go through all those things, I would not be able to be compassionate. I don't judge people. I don't say that fat person, they're a slob, lazy loser. People are like that, or step over the bum on the street. That could have been me. I was out on the street, walking around with a backpack, getting drunk every day for lack of a better purpose. You know, I could have been that guy that people are stepping over. You loser, get a job. You don't know what he's been through. You don't know what happened to him. That's the thing. When you have that pain, it's a catalyst to seek for something more. It's a catalyst to seek for peace. You're reading the Bible. You're reading spiritual books. You're looking for the truth because you know there's got to be more. You got to think to yourself, okay, if there is this thing called God and it's supposedly love, why would it just dump me here with this feeling of never feeling safe? There has to be a way to feel safe. And ever since that time that I've never felt safe, since the day I was born, I get closer and closer to believing and knowing and being able to create that. So I'm fortunate. I wouldn't change my nothing ever for this right now. Make videos, have a compassionate, gentle, loving, non-judgmental, critical heart. That's why I was so confused on YouTube for so many years. Because I can't see how people can do that to other people. I cannot wrap my head in any way, shape, or form around how people can criticize and judge another. I just cannot do it. Because I've never been perfect. And I'm like, I don't know if they were raped or beaten or told they were stupid or told they were ugly maybe they were just beaten and bamboozled and told they were ugly and stupid and now they're a bum on the street. Well, what did you expect? And now you're going to call them, you're a loser, lazy ass, you know? What if that person was raped? What if that person's dad told them that you'll never amount to nothing, ever? And if they weren't like me, with an incredibly indomitable spirit, Dan Macdonald, I like myself. Even if I have to do it on YouTube videos and it's like, your ego's so huge, I'm going to love me right here on these videos. And I'm going to say, this dude has an indomitable spirit that only knows one key word, and that is persistence. And that's why with the fasting and the raw foods and the healing, if anyone thinks that their negativity or judgment, you look too skinny, if they think that's going to slow me down, they need to really take a look, stop wasting their time, and get out of my way. Because I'll bowl them over in 2 seconds. I will be 110 pounds on a water fast, and I will walk right through 350 pounds of muscle. And they will get knocked over and bowled over, because that'll be the power of this spirit that cannot be broken. Yours is the same way. You just have to own that part. And then all that conditioning in your mind, which creates all those trepidation in your heart, you will get through it. And if I got to be a champion for just a handful of very special, unique people that are sensitive and believe in the truth, and at least more truth than you have today, then we can get along and I can serve you in that way. You see? So, forge ahead. I said Dan Macdonald is a leader in human excellence. And what does that mean? Does that mean going from being a rich genius prodigy into a richer, more genius, more prodigious prodigy? Or does that mean going from like lower middle class, low self-esteem, no hope, bum, raised around drugs and poverty and abuse, and then uses all that as fuel? I hate telling the story over and over again. I should try to work my way out of that. But just to give you an idea that I can relate to people, and that where it doesn't matter where you are, but what it's in relation to how far you've come. Well, this guy, he's out there, he can run a 4-minute mile, and you can only run a 7-minute mile. Well, last year, you couldn't even get up off the couch. You see what I mean? And now you started eating raw foods and getting some exercise and stretching and taking care of yourself, and now you can run a 7-minute mile. The other guy, he started out running a 4-minute and 50-second mile, and now he's gotten it down to 4. Well, you couldn't even walk around the track one time, and now you're doing a 7-minute mile. You are by far the superior champion. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's in relation to how far we've come. You see? And so that's what makes us champions. We can't compare ourselves with anyone else. We need to look in the mirror and say, what can you do to improve your life today? So we appreciate this body, and we appreciate this life. I know I was too spiritual for my own good, living in La La Land. And I'm through this process that I'm going through of evolution, of consciousness. I'm appreciating being in the body. I'm appreciating this life. I'm appreciating this flesh. And instead of trying to transcend the body, I'm a spirit in a body, and just the body is evil or whatever. You can just be like, nah, man, this is like a humongous, great gift, and it's a great tool and mechanism to. For a spirit to live within, and it's a great gift. And it's a great fun journey if you look at it like that. I didn't say it was always pleasant. I mean, I go up and down all the time, every day. Some people are way more stable than me, that's fine. But I'm a very sensitive person with different sets of programs, and I'm sure you have your sets of programs and things that trigger you that are different than mine. But what we're trying to do is just get on a more even keel. And strengthen through understanding of ourselves, and strengthen our stability through self-awareness. Whether that's just avoiding going to those places that trigger you, or becoming aware enough to shine the light on those triggers and having some understanding as to why you're triggered in that way, and then through that understanding of yourself, you can eliminate that particular trigger. So it's one beautiful step at a time. It's just a continual process of letting go. That's what health is. That's what spirituality is. It's not like to get more money. Let's say you want to improve your finances. You don't get more skills on how to make more money. What you do is you release the blocks in your consciousness to abundance. And then you're like, well, it's everywhere. And then all you do is just go have fun and give your gifts. And people are like, here, how much can I give you? Well, that's how it was in the beginning on the YouTube. People would write to me, where can I give you some of my money? I'm like, in the first year or two, I didn't even have anything. I just made these cool ass videos for fun. And Krista and I lived off carrots and totally had to hide out at the family park and hide in the RV because we couldn't afford the payment. You know, nobody knew and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So we hid out there for a while. Nobody even knew that, but I was having so much fun that I just quit my job because I said on my 35th birthday, I'm never getting on those roofs again. I just said that to myself, and I did it one time. After my 35th birthday, I did one job and got up on a roof, and every ounce of the spirit of the whole universe was saying, this is wrong. You said you will not get on these roofs after 35 years old because all these dudes with broken ribs and broken wrists, and these dudes are like 60 years old still cleaning windows, and there was like no way I was going to do that. Being 60 years old up there with a pressure washer. Not that I was afraid, but I'm just saying I needed to get out of that. So I said, when I did that one job, I never knew I could do it again. I said, Krista, we have to make this thing work somehow. And that's when we started doing the Facebook weight loss groups and stuff like that. And those videos are still available to this day. And anyways, thank God for Ricky and everything else that's come along. And thank God for you. And thank God for the Insiders Club. And thank God for all the DVDs that I made. And everything is really awesome and much better. And I'm glad to be able to have this video making career or whatever it is, to be able to just be here for you, because I'd tell you what, and I'll let you go. I talked about this on the last video to the Insiders Club, but I just talked to a dude yesterday who did a 90-day water fast, okay? I'll tell you something. People want him to make videos, they want him to write a book, people like that, and then even all lose mentors, you ever hear of them? No. Why? Because people aren't, when we do what we do, nobody's making some videos about it. Nobody's even writing some books hardly. You get like a dude like Arnold Ehret. How many Arnold Ehrets do you think there have been in the history of mankind? Thousands. But guess what? How many of them ever write books or make videos? None of them. So for me, it's like, this is like I'm being used to do something crazy, and I'm the dude who's getting pummeled into, you know, rock hard solidity. Get up there, be yourself, share these truths. And just because people don't understand fasting or raw foods or clarity or trying to purify, that's not my problem. Only if you're interested in that kind of stuff, now we got something. You and me, if you're interested in purifying your heart, getting emotionally stabilized, cleansing and regenerating the mind. That's what I learned about the water fasting. Oh, and I have not even started yet. So the people that are like, this guy, he's orthorexic, he's crazy. You got to go talk to my friend yesterday who did a 90-day water fast. He only weighs 125 pounds. He went down to 119. He only lost 6 pounds in 3 months on just water. That's what happens to the body when it's clean. It starts, and he as well came to the conclusion, as we all do, that it is all about the breath. It is all about the oxygen carrying capacity of the lungs and the breathing techniques and style, abdominal breathing, as well as somewhat and fairly more important than I may realize, and we all may realize, is actually the quality of the air. But the rate and the gait of the breath, and knowing that it's not about food that gives you energy, but knowing that it's about the air that gives you energy, that's going to help you if you have cancer, overweight, diabetes, chronic fatigue, and you're out there going, oh, I better get off my ass sitting on the couch all day watching YouTube videos. Don't get up and click this one off yet. But when you're done, then you get your butt up off the couch or beyond the computer chair and get your butt outside. And that was the thing that the last water fast did, along with I did some vitamin C therapy, mega doses of vitamin C, and I could feel my lungs just pop, 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 pop. And then the water fasting also clears out the lungs. The lungs can grow. Now, I've been put these lungs through a lot of stuff, and so have a lot of you too, with the cigs, the LA air, the weed, the crap at your industrialized job, and so the lungs are scarred. We started breathing junk crap from the very beginning at the hospital, and we hardly ever spent a lot of time outside to get those air sacs really wide open so that we're utilizing a lot of air. So what we do is we use food as a stimulant And then once you've stimulated your nerves and stimulated your blood into a high state of meat or spices or whatever stimulants you use instead of more of the nourishing foods, then you start moving and breathing. And then you get your energy and you say, oh, the coffee gave me energy. No, the coffee stimulated your adrenals, stimulated your nervous system, stimulated your blood, and then you got up and started moving and breathing more and utilizing oxygen, and it was the oxygen that gave you energy. Skip all the BS. Don't overload your body with food too much. That's my opinion at this time. Moderation in food consumption adds to longevity. There's millions and billions and trillions of studies on that, and it's so obvious once you get it that, yeah, it's great to eat. You need a little bit of nourishment for your brain and for your heart and for some replenishment for the blood. But you don't need to eat 10 billion vegan donuts every day to get enough energy to go out and live your life like I'm going to go do right now. So I could go on and on about all these subjects, and I know you told me to, but I think 20 minutes is enough today to just check in, say hello, go out and breathe, appreciate your body. Thank you for letting me be myself. I love you so much, and I hope that your life is awesome and gets better and better and better and better, and you just get more and more full and filled with the presence of life itself, so that you just have this overwhelming appreciation for all of it. Give it a thumbs up, subscribe to these videos if you haven't already and you don't think I'm completely crazy, and I will talk to you soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.